Catalina Arc, Episode 3, Andalucía, Beginnings, Part 2, Quiet Collisions, late May to June 2009.
Scene 1. Interior. Family courtyard. Late May. Evening hum. Lucia entertains two university friends from Cordoba, their laughter loud and fluid. Jonathan sits at the table with them, following the words but not quite the rhythm. Ese acento tuyo parece prestado.
Seguro que lo inventas sobre la marcha.
The table laughs. Jonathan sets down his glass, smile easy but sharp.
Hablan rápido para esconder que no dicen nada.
A surprised beat. The friends break into bigger laughter, caught. Lucia tilts her head, eyes glinting.
Careful, muchacho. With answers like that, you might actually pass for Andaluz.
Jonathan meets her gaze, leans in slightly.
Maybe, but you'd still know I'm foreign. You always do.
Their eyes lock. Flirt, spark. A heat that bends the air. The table feels it, the friends chuckling but glancing at each other. Catalina slips in quietly, setting down a plate of olives. She smirks, cutting through the tension without effort.
Don't flatter him too much, Lucia. He still looks lost in your robe.
The table bursts into laughter. Jonathan stiffens, caught off guard. But when he looks at Catalina, she's already dropping into her sketchbook's quiet, crooked grin tugging at her mouth.
Lucia was the fire everyone gathered around. But when her heat turned sharp, Catalina gave me shade. She didn't rescue me. She reminded me I wasn't invisible.
Lucia's smile lingers, but her wineglass pauses too long at her lips.
Scene 2, Family Courtyard, the next afternoon.
Jonathan leans against a column, phone pressed to his ear. Shadows shift under fabric sails above.
Sí, Mama. Yes, I'm eating. And Papa? Tell him the streets here sound like guitars. Sofia? Hey, chiquita. How big are you now?
¡Grande! ¡Más grande que Jojo!
Jonathan laughs, holding up his hand for scale.
Impossible. You'll have to prove it when I get back.
Bring me... árbol naranja.
A whole tree? If Mama lets me sneak it through customs.
Lucia lingers near the archway, glass in hand, listening. Her expression flickers.
Sophia. She already has his voice wrapped around her finger.
Catalina enters with her sketchbook, catching the tail end of Sofia's Kiko through the receiver. She sets her book down, watching Jonathan.
She's lucky. Someday, I'd want that too. A little voice calling for me.
Lucia doesn't turn, but her jaw tightens. Not anger, more a buried longing.
I want the world. Madrid, galleries, the blaze of it all. But a child's laugh like that, I'd want that too, one day.
For a moment, they share something unspoken, both desiring what feels impossibly far. Lucia's dream, balanced against her ambition, Catalina's against their quiet sketches. At the workbench, Raphael sets down his sandpaper, watching with a carpenter's patience.
The cycle comes again. A new branch, another route. The boy speaks to his sister, and I see it. The next generation already reaching forward. We raise them in noise and silence, in fire and water, and always they carry more than they know.
Jonathan, still on the phone, finally notices both Lucia and Catalina watching him. For a heartbeat, it feels like the courtyard itself is listening.
Te quiero, Sophie. I'll be home before you know it. In her laugh, I heard the hearth of my family. But in their eyes, I saw two different futures waiting. One blaze, one ember. I didn't yet know which fire would hold me.
Scene 3. Interior, family kitchen, early June.
A cool kitchen washed in thyme and garlic. Isabel chops tomatoes with slow precision. Raphael sends a chair leg at the table. Lucia dries her hands, phone face down on the counter. Miss call glows. Madrid.
You've been looking at that phone like it owes you money.
It owes me a life. Madrid needs an assistant curator. Visits now, interviews later. It's real.
And the boy?
I can keep both blades spinning.
Raphael doesn't look up, steady with the sandpaper.
Blades spin fast, see. But wood wants time. Pressure in the wrong place, and it breaks.
Lucia swallows that, restless, tapping the phone once before turning it face down again.
Madrid was a flame calling me north. Jonathan was something else. Sweet, steady, dangerous in his own way. Fire lives in motion, not in roots. But sometimes I wanted both.
Through the window, Jonathan crosses the courtyard, books and notebook in hand, half inside this world, half already dreaming elsewhere.
Scene 4. Courtyard, evening, mid-June.
String lights sway between lemon trees, warm dusk settling into night. A long courtyard table crowded with family, laughter, clinking glasses, Raphael's kids darting under chairs. Catalina, 18, sits at the center, sketchbook tucked under her chair. Isabel sets a small cake before her, uneven candles flickering.
Make a wish, mi niña.
The courtyard hushes. Catalina closes her eyes. A stray breeze steers, threatening the flame. From diagonally across, Jonathan leans forward, about a meter away, instinctively raising his hand to shield the candles. He doesn't even notice himself doing it. Catalina opens her eyes, catches the gesture. A crooked half smile blooms, open, grateful, before she blows the candles out. Applause erupts. Jonathan leans back, unaware of what is left behind.
18. Old enough to know better, young enough to try anyway.
Laughter, Catalina rolls her eyes, but her glance slides back to Jonathan. Lucia slides a slim parcel across the table. Catalina unwraps it. A sleek sketching pen. Fine, expensive, Madrid quality.
For the artist. Now you can stop stirring my lipstick to draw with.
Catalina laughs, kisses her cousin's cheek. Lucia smiles, restless, her gift already pointing north. A guitar starts in the corner. Isabel hums. Raphael lifts his glass, surveying them all.
To Catalina, may you always choose your own heat.
Glasses clink. Wine swallowed.
It was Catalina's night. Simple, golden, alive. But even here, shadows stretched. Lucia's gift spoke of elsewhere. My hand had meant nothing, and yet it stayed with Catalina. One cousin carried a flame north. The other held a warmth I didn't yet understand.
Candles burn low. The courtyard hums with music and chatter. Catalina tucks the pen away. Crooked smile lingering.
Scene 5. Lucia's bedroom. Late June.
Night air drifts through the open window. Jonathan writes at the desk, pen scratching. Lucia perches on the bed, phone buzzing again. She silences it, gaze fixed on him.
Madrid was a fire calling me north, a life that burned all night. If I chose it, Jonathan would be gone.
She studies him, steady, unreachable in his focus.
But another path waited here. Jonathan himself. Not just nights stolen, but a child's laugh, a home built on roots. If I chose him, Madrid would bend or break.
Jonathan pauses, pen still. Lucia rises, crosses to him, and lays a hand on his shoulder. The gesture is grounding, like a hearthstone set in place. He turns.
You don't have to burn for me, Lucia. Just stay. That's all I ever need.
Her breath catches. She pulls him into a kiss, fierce, urgent, fire consuming the quiet. He lets her, notebook falling to the floor.
He asked me for quiet. I gave him fire. I gave him warmth. For one night, I believed it was enough.
The phone buzzes again on the desk. Neither look.
Flash forward. NYC. 2017.
Catalina's apartment. Evening. Suitcases by the door. Lucia sits on the sofa beside her husband. Across the room, Jonathan helps Catalina open a bottle of wine. Laughter drifting between them. Lucia's hand rests on her husband's arm, but her eyes catch Jonathan in the kitchen light. The memory of her hand on his shoulder years ago, the kiss that followed, flares inside her.
I carried that night with me, fire and hearth in the same breath. And now, here he is again, in my cousin's home. The life I chose beside me. The life I left, still burning.
Scene 6. Family courtyard. Next morning, early July 2009.
Soft light spills into the courtyard. Jonathan sits at the table, writing in his notebook, pen scratching steadily. Catalina helps Isabel arrange fruit in a shallow bowl. Oranges, figs, grapes. The quiet rhythm of morning. Upstairs, faintly, Lucia's laugh carries on the phone. Madrid in her ear. Catalina glances at Jonathan, steady with his pen.
She heard him ask for quiet and still gave him fire. But I listened. I saw the river in him, patient, waiting. And I knew I could stay. I knew I could be the quiet he needed.
Jonathan pauses, absent-mindedly sketching a shape in the margin of his notes. The outline of a lemon tree. He doesn't realize what he's drawn. He looks up. Their eyes meet. Not a smile, but recognition. The faint sound of Lucia's laugh drifts down again, thinner than before.
No one plans to choose, but fire leaves ash. Rivers keep moving even in silence. The camera lingers on his page, the half-formed lemon tree among lines of text.
Fade to black.